Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I have finally finished this mining ship. I I don't even know how many hours it took me. It took me a lot of hours. Um, I'm not 100% happy with it right yet, but I am pretty happy with it. It's all filled up, and well, I think we're ready to take it for a test flight. I wanted to take it for test flight earlier today, but the server was lagging and I couldn't. So let's turn on the maneuvering thruster, which is ion, and slowly, well, ion isn't strong enough to get us out of the connector range, so let's turn on the big guns. Huh. Big guns aren't even enough. Oh! There they are. Whoop. There we go. As you can see, my little wing section is a tad bit too wide, so what you have to do to fix that. That's stupid. There's a weird glitch going on where you see I can't rotate. It like really gets upset. Like if I let go right now, look at that. I don't know. Now how I was able to fix that, which is not a permanent fix at all, but I can just maneuver my way out here like so. So this bad boy is equipped with mainly hydrogen thrust. We have some simple ion thrusters in case we went out of hydrogen and we're in a very bad situation. We're at 198, so let's go to that asteroid. We're going to scout some asteroids today in this episode. So I'm just going to go full throttle and see how long it takes me to go to 500 meters, because that is the current cap. So starting now. 100 meters using 96%, 95%. We're at 200, 94%. Yeah, we eat up fuel quite fast. 300 meters, we're at 93%, 92% now. We're at 500 meters. Okay. Uh-oh. I think I should scroll down a bit. We have the equal amount of backwards thrust as we do front thrust, so it doesn't take us long. Looks like we're overshot that one. Is going to go to this one up here. It does have a first-person view. It does have a spotlight. I shouldn't aim a different direction until we're at a complete stop, so I have all of the thrust going back. We do eat up hydrogen. It's I believe it's 5 small hydrogen tanks in here. I might have room to add more if I have to, but I've been kind of avoiding it. Okay. So I guess we're going to this meter now. We're gonna turn inertial dampers off and kind of drift there. Say, I don't know, 100 meters a second. There you go. That's the fun thing about being in space, is I was going full thrust that whole time. In reality, I'll just really do stuff like this. I have the antenna on an on-off button to conserve power, because we only have a battery. Given we have plenty of power, we don't use much for that battery. But let's go ahead and turn the antenna on. Have an error detector and an antenna. Let's turn inertial dampers on, slow ourselves down a tad bit, and scout out this asteroid. Like I said, eventually I do want to up the fuel capability, because at the moment I don't have much of a range. But this ship will generally stay with the mothership, so that's kind of how I'm that's kind of what I'm telling myself. Doesn't seem to be anything here. Well, there's something black right there. Is it gonna tell me what it is? Maybe it wasn't black. Guess I was seeing things. Okay, well, let's go inside. Unknown signal. There's not much of a view. Okay. Oh, was that ice? Anything but ice would be useful. Okay, there's ice there. Look at that, we're at half fuel already. Yeah, they don't hold much at all. I'm gonna go ahead and turn ion off. I might add more ion thrusters in this case. Oh, even then I only have an hour. One battery just isn't enough. No. Okay. Well, I guess it means it's time for us to head home already. Okay. So, we're gonna turn inertial dampers off for this instant. Well, let's turn it back on. We're gonna head in this direction. Go to 150, that's fine. And we'll float for a bit. Yeah, hydrogen is definitely going to be a bit of an issue because we have so many thrusters eating it up. I might add more ion, say maybe 6 more ions. But then we'll need more batteries. And more batteries will make this even longer than it already is. As I said, there's a few places I can squeeze in some hydrogen tanks, so I might work on that in the future. For the time being, though, I don't think it's a mission critical thing. Because, again, this is kind of going to be a ship that's going to stay near the main base, but I eventually will want it to be a scout. I might make kind of a separate scout vessel. Just have this one for mining, so I can keep the hydrogen thrust for when we actually collect some stuff. Okay. Oh, that's a freeze up. Okay, hands off the keyword. Yep. Can I rotate now? Yeah, I can rotate now. I can't rotate to the left. And I can't rotate to the right anymore. That's a weird bug. I restarted the server multiple times. This might just be a space engineers thing. I don't know. Anybody who's watching this, if you have this bug, let me know so I know it's a space engineers thing and not a server thing. I'll also have to ask Smokey if he's dealing with this. This is a weird asteroid thing, you know. It's pretty good though. A military mine layer. Now, what's interesting about that is it's friendly. That could be a nice ship to steal. Talk about resources. You guys want to go steal that? Let's go scout for her. Okay, let's go steal that. And then what we can do is we can take the mothership around to some of these asteroids. Okay, let's go up to speed a little bit and turn those off. When we go... Now parking this thing is gonna be fun. 6, 5. I want to say about 3 meters. I want to start slowing down. So right now, inertial dampers on. 2. Again, we don't want to move. We're streaming in the base now. There it is. And let's go up to it. Looks like it's like that. Okay, see, now we can rotate. It's weird. Yeah, look at that, about 22%. Hydrogen doesn't hold, those small tanks don't hold anything. It might be worth trying to get a large tank in here somehow. Get a large tank will definitely hold substantially more. I think even, I think me and Smokey did the math when it came out, and it was honestly better. A large tank, that is. Because even if using the same amount of space as small tanks would, it still was not anywhere near. This is confusing. I'm gonna go like this and zoom out. There we go. Let's see here. Let's rotate. Please let me. Thank you. Let's back in here. And see. Sorry, it's kind of weird backing into places. Let's go. There we go. Back it in, back it in. Should be clear. Rotate. Rotate. Back it in. That's great how this camera's actually getting stuck on the wall because this is where the connector is. Oh, a little bit down. Da da da. And connect. And 3 to put on stockpile. 2 and 4 to go on stock. That 5 to turn off the antenna so it doesn't use any batteries. But hydrogen is going to be an issue. It really is. We just have so many hydrogen thrusters that I might have a button that turns like most of these on and off. That way when I get a big load I'll use it. Where's that military mine layer? That's a planet. That's my antenna. See, we're looking for a right thing like that. There it is. Let's go see what we can do about that, shall we? It won't take us long to get there considering we go. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's still there, but without the beacon, that's not worth it. And a pirate vulture is not worth it either. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do, since the ship doesn't really have enough fuel to go a long range, as in scouting. I feel like I kind of need to make a scouting vessel, but it's taking me so long to build this. I'm not too interested. But there are some vessels I need to build. I need to build a grinder ship so I can grind that this ship up. I need to build a scout vessel, and I need to build a weld vessel. I'm going to have the grind vessel be the weld vessel. I'll just switch between the 2 there. But as for the scout ship, I'm thinking something honestly very small. The reason why this is so big is I need cargo containers and whatnot, and my scout vessel will just basically be a fighter. I'm thinking actually extremely small. Matter of fact, it'll be perfect to fit here because this is going to be the smallest hangar. That's a thought. Could make a smaller grid. Oh, I mean, of course I'm going to make a small grid. I don't know what I was thinking. I saw this and thought, oh, that's tiny, and looked at that, and I honestly thought that was large grid. Okay. Looks like we're doing another shipbuilding. Man. Okay, so what do we want to build first? Well, what are we looking in the way of resources? We're looking that we have a lot of things that needs to be disassembled. So you see how I do that? So I do 5, 5, 5, and if it gets all of it, so I do another 5, 5, 5. Okay. Got a name. And that should have cleared up our inventory. There we go. Open everything up, hide empty. Let's try to do a little bit of organization. Refresh. Assembler. So yeah, we're pretty low on everything actually. I'm gonna try to get everything in one place, and then I can go from there. The hydrogen bottle? I'll take that. Got some gold, some more gravel, a little more iron. Come on, where's the good stuff? Actually, I think the best thing to do is move everything. I like to keep components and materials in 2 different things. But that's just me. It gives me a better understanding of what I have. Looks to be... Come on. This is it. This is all we have, guys. We have 15,000 iron, which is a decent amount. We got 8,000 nickel. To give you an idea, we had 300,000 iron in the cargo container. So when it blew up basically all of it, because I filled up the cargo container to max, you know, which is for 100,000 liters, and now it's at 3,000. Sometimes, you know, life just decides to throw you away, you know. So we definitely have the materials to build a scout ship, I think. And I think that'll be worth it. I'm thinking whether or not I want to use ion. Yeah, I want to use ion. Does that have a reactor by chance? Or was it just battery operated? Lots of cargo containers. Does have a refinery, which is good. Let's look around. Why is it all black? Oh, look at that refinery. Has no uranium, but it does mean that we have reactor components, which means we can build. What else do you have in here? Medical components, that's good, and lots of interior turret ammo. Unfortunately, there's no uranium. If I have to guess, I'm guessing that Nick took it because he did capture the ship, so I can't blame him for taking it. Because this doesn't have a reactor, I don't think. It does have, whoa, 87 uranium. Does it even have a reactor? It doesn't even have a 87 uranium. He doesn't watch these videos. I know that. That is 80, right? Okay, I have to check. 80? Wow. You know what? You probably won't even notice. Look, Nick, if you do watch this, if you do, and if you do notice, and you confront me, here's the thing, okay? That 20 uranium is going to power any ship I build for literally months, real life months, okay? And it's just sitting there doing nothing, okay? So if that 20 uranium, if you run out of uranium, okay, if you use all that uranium, then by the time that happens, I should have the access to build. I should have the access to get uranium, and I will repay you. Now I'm gonna make a note on my desk that says 20 uranium owed to Nick. Whether you confront me or notice that or not, I am gonna pay you back. Okay, but I'm not gonna tell you about it because I don't want to have that conversation. I'd rather just not go there. Anyway, guys, so 20 uranium is absolutely, you know, it'll power a small grid ship for flying for a very, very long time. So I'm just gonna stick that nice and cozy there for a moment while I start work. So we're going to need landing gear. We have these fancy landing gears. For now, we're gonna use a regular one, but I'll probably put fancy ones down. We're also going to need 9 fancy 9. Let's do that. Okay, back against the wall. 9. It's already rotated. Get it down here. Over here. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. What do we want to start with? Let's actually just start with a very basic foundation. Something to work off of. Is that all that? Okay, that was fast. Let's grab some steel plates. All the steel plates we currently have. So let's do that. To get off the ground. Then let's do, looking for cockpit blocks. Fighter cockpit? Yeah, I like the fighter cockpit personally. It's kind of fun to work with because you have the big connector in the back and the small connector in the front and a small connector at the bottom. So it has good connection points, and it just looks good. Let's get what we need for this. Not enough of so much stuff. I'm just gonna queue it up. And while we're at it, I'll just do that. Okay, so this is gonna be ion. So we have ion down. We're gonna need some conveyors, maybe. Oh, we are gonna need an O2 generator. And O2 generator has a big connection point, right? Yeah, so it might be better to just connect that directly to the back, like so. And after that, we just need to put thrusters in all directions, some gyroscopes down, and we have a little fighter. It's not going to look pretty at all. It's basically going to be a flying cockpit with a nuclear reactor using that 20 uranium. As far as that goes, that's it. I don't want to be too complicated with this. Oh, I need the cockpit back. Oh, good, still here. Let's put it there. We don't need conveyors, actually. That's good. While we're at it, 9. Not enough steel plates. We need 8 more steel plates. Okay. Production. Let's just make 100. So let's roll this up and that up. So then we'll start placing thrusters in every direction. You see, when you're not building cargo containers or things like that, building a ship in this game, like a little scout vessel, is very easy. You know, depending on how pretty you want to make it. Okay. Then let's do some ion thrusters. Do I want a big one in the back? Here's what I'm kind of thinking. We could do that. I think this thing's gonna be fast. So fast. Might even eat up too much ion to be for its own good. We need a few maneuvering thrusters, so I'm saying let's just don't do that. 9, like so. Same here. Dupe. No. Oh, 8. Okay, then we need some going down and some going up. And that's basically it. You know, that gives us all the basic thrusters we need: up, down, left, right, first, straight. We are going to need some gyroscopes. You might say just stick them right there. And then we're going to need an antenna. So let's just... Oh, and a error detector. So let's... start with the antenna. Is my energy critical? Thank you for telling me. We could stick it back here. Or we could stick it going up like that. Then have... No, not a cockpit. This there. Again, this ain't gonna be It's not gonna be very pretty. I might add a nose to it, and that's about it. Oh, then we need a reactor. I might want to add a battery to it too, just to save on reactor power. Where do we want this fancy reactor? Well, we may not need 3 gyroscopes, so let me just delete that gyroscope and stick this reactor with an access point to it. Boop. Is there anything else this thing needs besides a battery, maybe? Small batteries are useless, they're like small hydrogen tanks. Oh, we can actually just cover this, after we build it, we can cover it up with this battery. And then Bob's your uncle. Ugh. Anyway, so I'm gonna weld all that up. It's gonna take me a minute, so I'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So I welded it up. I'm fixing to do a test run. This thing, it does the job. Oh, I need to do landing gear. Okay, well, I'll do that in a second. Let's see here. First thing I want to do is, so 20 uranium, okay. Control panel. Battery. Fully recharged. Yeah, I don't need to recharge. Yeah. If I put it on recharge, how long will it take? Still, it's gonna take an hour even with the reactor. Okay. I mean, there's not much to it. I don't know what I'm gonna call this thing, but yes, let's take it for a test ride. We have 28 days of power with this. We got 5 hours and we're maxing out in power, actually. That's not good. That means you have too much thrust. I mean, once the battery is maxed out, we might be okay. What I could do... I wish they would tell me which one of these is large. Oh, here. All these. Oh, there isn't. I thought there was a way to limit them. Okay, what if I were to... I don't really want to, but... I don't have to grind it down, I can just turn one off. Eye control panel, large battery off, forward. Okay, I just turned all the batteries to the left off. We good? Yep, that's enough. And it's still fast. And it's still, you know, we're good. I will work it out. So we had 20 uranium, let's see. Should still have 19.9, we used 0.1. Okay, we definitely, 2 gyroscopes is definitely enough. We got good visibility, and we do indeed have an antenna. Let me go ahead and put that. Detector, toggle block on and off. Control panel. Detector, max range, and now I can turn it on and off. And now we have a little scout vessel with double the thrust we actually need. I guess what I can do is I can have those on a button, so if I get into a bad situation or if I need to slow down fast, I can hit those on and overload the battery. It's like divert all power to the engines button. Yeah, so we have a little scout vessel. Doesn't have a connector, which means it can't connect to the base and recharge. Okay, I'll put a connector on it. Doesn't have to be connected to any of the ship. So KNO connector. I will have to build 2 of these now. One of them large, not enough steel plates, of course. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Okay. Not enough steel plates, not enough steel plates. That's 60, 40, 25. There we go. Then for a small one, there we go. How do I want to do this? Oh. Looks like that'll do it just fine. So let's put that there and put this here. Weld, weld, weld. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a very, you know what, I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say do a very quick speedy up bit, time lapse, but honestly I don't know if I'll remember, so I'm not gonna say I'll do it because I don't think I will. And since I talked the entire time while I was rolling it up, I don't need to. So we're all good. We are all good. Okay. This thing is super fast. Okay, let's line it up. And P.
No fuel.
Oh, you know what I want to do? Let's do P. I control panel. No, actually we need G. Okay, we'll also need to make switches into a group, but I want to put the reactor into an on-off system. That way, before we do this, control panel, THR, thrust. Okay, well, which one is actually off? UR and UR. So we need U, and all of U in a group called main. Then we need U and U in a group called, I don't know, backup. Okay, then G, DTT groups, main, toggle block on and off, backup, toggle block on and off. Right now they are off. So we click P and then we'll click 2 and 3. There we go. I do that so we don't, the reactor doesn't start trying to charge up like the 30 batteries that we have in here. But this battery should recharge, so that's good. So there's our tiny little scout ship. There's not much to it. Oh, I want to do landing gear. Let's do something. Put that there. Then put these here, maybe. Like there and there. Yeah, that looks funny. Okay. There is a large grid version of this. Interesting. Oops. 1, 2. There we go. And we'll weld this one up. And this one. And this one. Ta-da. Then I can go in here. Yeah. Go to control panel and click landing gear, since this is the only ship that has it. Put in here, landing. I'll even finish it off gear. Go to G, groups, landing gear, auto lock. I guess it'll be toggle block on and off, and also switch lock. Okay. So, kind of hard to see, but I think if we click for, yep, they go up, down, up, Then auto lock. I'm gonna put it up. Huh, it doesn't go up flat like I thought it did. I'm kinda happy though about it. Doesn't look too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not too shabby. I might can even do one thin layer. Well, yeah, I could. Don't know if I want to though. But for now, it does the job. Anyway, so we have a little scouting vessel, and okay, goodbye, universe. The mining ship's good. When I said that there was space, in this section there's a little bit of space, and like I could put one in there. There's a few places I could put a hydrogen, a few more small hydrogen things. But I think I'll change like maybe these 3 to ions, and then I'll have like that one turned off, so we'll be using 6 small ones to go forward and back. I think that might be a good. I don't want to use too much iron because I only have 1 battery, right? So you know what? I'm thinking I could put ions like going sideways like that. I'll have to see how it works. Again, you know, this isn't a scout vessel, so what I can do is just use this one, find the ores, and then use this one to actually mine it, and then I can actually take the main base to where I need it. Now we have that thing, and we can't leave until that's done. So I'm going to have to build a. Well, maybe I don't. No, I do. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing with the welder and grinder ship. A lot of things can't go through small conveyors. So if I grind them up, like I was thinking I could just take the drills off and put grinders on them. But I can't, because if I grind down something, most of it will not be able to get to the cargo containers, because you can't move some items like large steel tubes through cargo containers, small conveyor tubes, which I find kind of ridiculous. Which means the grinders has to be connected directly to a cargo container in order to take everything. If we're doing small grid, if we're doing large grid, then there's no big deal. So I guess that's the question. Do you want to do? I guess we can build a small large grid ship just with some small cargo containers and some welders and grinders. We could do that. I'll think about it, but that's gonna be it for me right now. It might even be the end of the video. I have to see how long I've been rambling on. If it's the end of the video, then thank you guys for watching, of me slowly dying of lack of oxygen. Oof. You know, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you are feeling generous today. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed. If it's not the, if this isn't the end of the video, and if I am going to add another clip to it, then I will be right back. But we'll find out. I don't know what's going on right now. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Bye.